Hi, and welcome to another episode of Reach Higher Thursday. I'm Nikki Devitt, president of the Petoskey Regional Chamber of Commerce. And today I am joined by Charlie Brockheisen, who is the parts manager for Fletch's GMC Buick Audi in Petoskey. Hi, Charlie. Thanks for joining us.
Hi, how are you guys today?
We're excellent. Now, let's start this off. Parts manager for Fletch's. Where did you go to high school, and what secondary education or certifications do you have?
Well, I'm a Harbor Springs resident. I grew up in Harbor Springs, spent most of my time in Petoskey, but Harbor Springs High School is where I completed. Took a few years off and went to Muck, as everybody knows it. And my fields were typically science and physics-oriented, engineering, electronics, and stuff like that. Just had a knack for that sort of thing, so I went after that as subject material. I've been with Fletch's for 25 years now. The last 3 years I've been the parts manager. So I've been in parts, and I've been in the service department as well, helping customers, and I'm back as they needed a seat to be filled. So I'm doing fine with that, and I plan to go even farther.
That's fantastic. So lots of study, lots of time. And what does a typical workday look like for you with what you do?
Well, for my department, in the parts department, we supply all the items needed to fix your car if it comes in with a broken, or if it's got a noise in it or something like that. But it starts the day starts with opening the store, checking in all the orders that were placed the previous day. All those parts are itemized, labeled, delivered out to the technicians right away. So if it's an emergency situation, we want to get that fixed as quickly as possible. There's a lot of tasks in the parts department. Stuff that arrives for stock. There's answering phones for the customers that want to fix cars on their own. We don't not only have the technicians, but we have people that call, and placing orders, working with claims. Right now, there's a lot of back orders going on in the industry. Everybody's probably heard of the supply chain, which we're experiencing. So that's something that I deal with on a daily basis. We have the ability to locate those things in other dealers across the country. We have a tool that can pull and view inventory for as far away as California. So that's a convenience for our customer and stuff like that. But there's a lot going on. It's a full day. It's 8 to 5, sometimes longer, depending on, your customers' needs and things like that. And as a manager, the other thing you have to always keep in mind is to hold your team together, make sure that everyone's getting along. No loose ends are left, because the loose end in my department can spell delays out front in the service department.
That makes sense. So that's a lot to handle in every day, and it sounds like it changes frequently. So what do you find are the skills most useful in your job and your career?
The most useful, critical thinking, listening well, looking beyond an issue that's right in front of you. If you encounter an obstacle, there's more than one way to go about it. So we're constantly challenged with I spoke earlier about back orders. Well, if the manufacturer can't get it, there's creative ways to get that item into the store. In our department, dealing with parts, when you're speaking to someone over the phone, having a good skill of spatial intelligence, which is thinking in 3D about how things go together. So if you can imagine an engine and all the internal components, how those are put together will help you when you're speaking to somebody over the phone and you don't actually have an item to look at. So team leading, communication is very important. Oftentimes like I said, there's more than one way to, take care of stuff. But you need to have a good communication skill so you can convey ideas, because a person may not know what he's asking for. So you have to ask leading questions, narrow that down, and sometimes it can be a challenge. And most of the time, if you communicate well, you'll be able to figure out what that is.
That is absolutely fantastic. Now, if a student watching this has interest in pursuing a career like yours, if you could give one piece of advice, what would it be?
Well, if the automotive industry is important and is an interest, I would make friends with people that are in the industry. So those are mechanics or technicians. And even if you want to figure out how things fit together, ask them to help for, if you're friends enough, ask them if you can help them. Hopefully they'll give you like a small task. So then you can kind of see how things are put together, how they do it. It gives you an idea. Sometimes it's not just easy as, 3 bolts. There could be something, behind it that you have to get to access that. Concentrate on those small projects and, you'll be able to, go a long way. But it's just expose yourself to people that are in the industry. So if you have a car guy, they're going to share stuff. And usually people are really good at, sharing their experiences and how to do stuff. A lot of people, they're like, hey, how do I do this? And I'll be like, well, let me show you. But staying close to people in the industry, asking questions would be the best way, I think, if you're interested in doing that.
And so staying close to people in the industry, we're going to put your contact information at the end of this video so that if anyone has any questions, they can reach out to you. Thank you so much, Charlie, for taking the time today. We appreciate you joining us.
Yep, you're very welcome. Enjoy the rest of your day.